I saw Longlegs a week ago now, and I've seen a bunch of hate and love for this movie. I like to believe it's kind of divided, but I'm really not sure. I, for one, enjoyed this movie. I only saw the teaser for it, but apparently there was a bunch of promotion saying it's the scariest movie of all time, which will automatically kill your movie. Calling any horror movie the scariest horror movie of all time is going to put this unrealistic expectation for the audience. And I had made a video not too long ago which mentions a question that I asked, which is, if a horror movie doesn't scare you, does that make it bad? My answer was no, because I'm not afraid of horror movies. I enjoy them. I judge it on if it's a good movie or not. Longlegs didn't scare me, but I thought it was a really good movie. But because it was told to audiences on either a trailer or a review that it was the scariest movie of all time, that put everyone's expectations very unrealistically high. And I think this movie is being judged unfairly because of it. If it didn't scare you and that's what you wanted, I think you're just gonna, find a lot of horror movies bad if your only intention is, it scared me. If it didn't scare me, it bad. If Silence of the Lambs didn't scare you, does that mean it's bad? It seems horror fans only have one thing in mind, and it's scare me, and if you don't scare me, I want nothing to do with you. And I think because of that, Longlegs is being treated in a terrible way, and is not being treated as a good movie, but treated on a scare factor. And I think calling Longlegs a horror movie may have also done it dirty, because it does work more like a thriller than it does a horror film. But I think it's ridiculous that there's certain movies like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2 have a higher audience score than Longlegs. What do you people want? Why does Smile? That movie is not better. Now, I will say, if you didn't like Longlegs, that's okay. It's okay for you not to like this movie. If you have like a genuine critique of it, whether you didn't like the writing or the characters or the movie just didn't click for you, that's okay. I just think judging it based on whether it scared you or not is a very unfair way to judge a movie, especially a movie that is a horror film. Because there is a lot of serial killer horror films that I don't think have jump scares in it, and I don't think they scared you that much. But it was interesting. Silence of the Lambs didn't scare me. I found it very interesting. And that's what I felt with Longlegs. I wasn't scared of any of the jump scares in this movie. There was very few jump scares, but I just liked the tone of it. I liked the detective work in it. I don't like the critique of people saying it's not a detective film if you know who the villain is. We all loved the Batman. But whether or not it scared you, I think can be irrelevant at times. I think horror films should be scary, but let's say that you're someone who has arachnophobia, and you watched a movie about arachnophobia, and it scared you. Clearly it scared you because you have arachnophobia, but I don't have arachnophobia, it didn't scare me. That doesn't mean that movie is bad, but I will enjoy it most likely. I like horror films, let me just say that. I like horror films. I'm not scared of them. I just like them. I like that genre. It's enjoyable. I just don't think the only way for it to be enjoyable is whether or not it scared you. I don't think that's all there is to horror films. I don't think an action film should be judged on how many explosions there are in the film. I get the point of it is to scare you, but not everything scares everyone the same way. I don't know how to end this video. It's been really frustrating because I enjoyed this film. It's one of those movies that you feel like you and your friends get it, but no one else gets it. That's what I've been thinking this whole time with this movie, and I keep seeing so many criticisms, but then I see people who really enjoy the film and point out all these little details about it that I missed before, and I really liked it, and I don't get why the horror community wants to show so much hate to this film when really it wasn't that bad of a film. I think it's just getting crapped on for no reason other than they didn't get scared, and I think that's a dumb reason. That's the only way I know how to end this video because it's so frustrating and there's not a lot to talk about because it's so single-minded of this one subject of did it scare me, and that's it. There's nothing else to talk about in this film. There's no other argument I can bring because that's the only thing that people care about for some reason in the horror community, and I don't know what else to talk about in this video because that's the only critique that I've seen about this film is it didn't scare me. But anyway, as much as it frustrates me, you are allowed to have your own opinion, whether that opinion sucks or not.